Live. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Smell divers. Welcome back to a smell diving experience. From the two smelliest hell divers, me and Mr. Pips. Pips?
Hello, hello.
You're a smell diver like me, right?
Yeah, of course. I was waiting for like Arrowheads introduction, so I was like, quite, you know what I mean?
Now, luckily for Arrowhead, I won't call him a smell diver. Arrowhead's the only clean smelling one on this show today.
Hey.
So, we got a cool episode planned. Hold on, where's my notes? We got a cool episode planned for you guys today. We're gonna go over some of the pile stat change notes. But we're pulling out the ones that, you know, the exciting ones. So we cut out some of the fluff. Then there were some things that I noticed, some potential secret buffs. Of course, it's gonna be speculation, okay? You know, you guys already got clickbaited. It is what it is. It's gonna be speculation. But I do think that there are some changes that are definitely gonna happen, and some things that people didn't notice, as well as a potential buff that, like I said, is speculation. I'm repeating myself, but it honestly will be pretty big for the game if it ends up being right. And then we're going to talk about Space Marines. So we got our first Space Marine 2 podcast, yes. And we're going to be doing more Space Marines in the future, but don't worry, we're also not going to be stopping the Helldivers Experience podcasts, especially if the next patch is really good. So, before we get into the show, quick sponsor shout out for the Helldivers shop keychains. They also got some t-shirts. Check out these keychains. A bunch of you already have, but I like to shout them out on the podcast because they're cool dudes. They also got some t-shirts and some other good stuff. The sickle and the Autoc Cannon are potentially coming soon. If you don't want to pre-order those, that's totally cool. I'll obviously shout it out when it does end up coming. All right, so first things first. Why is Erevan's name not in the title? Because we met the 100-character title limit.
Nice.
Listen. It is what it is. He's in the thumbnail, boys. You got to do what you got to do. Lots of news to cover. All right, so first things first. Everybody already knows Pilestet leaked a bunch of patch notes, or was teasing us with patch notes. So I pulled some of the more interesting ones because I went over this on stream. Everybody's been reacting to these. But these are the ones we pretty much want to talk about today. So over on the left is the stuff that's definitely relevant. 500 kg getting buffed in the next patch, hopefully to being more consistent. Rockets getting nerfed from 0.5 meters to now 0.1 meters, which is pretty great. And Rocket Devastator's running out of ammo. Pips, is this going to make you come play the bots finally?
No.
What the hell, man?
Listen, the ragdolling. I can't get rid of the ragdolling again.
Bro, 0.5 to 0.1. Just don't get hit.
It's fine. I'll wait a little bit more. It's okay.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The 0.5 to 0.1 is already in the game, actually. I don't know why you mentioned that there.
Is it in the game?
It's currently... Last time I checked, it's 0.15. And
there you go.
Like 0.45. It's like significantly reduced. I notice it constantly whenever I'm dodging gunships, where like the rocket will land near me. I'll be like, oh, that would have ragdolled me last patch. But it has to be basically a direct hit for you to get knocked around now. Or it has to land directly on the other side of your cover, which they also need to fix that. That's annoying as hell. Getting ragdolled because an explosion lands on the other side of your hard cover.
Okay. That's my beef with the ragdolling. So there's such an easy workaround. You just take one step back from the cover, but it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, freaking barrage missiles, man. Do something about barragers and scout striders. All right. Anyways, railgun buff incoming, higher risk, higher reward, closer to the release in effectiveness. But they're treading carefully on that one. So I'm also curious what he means by this, because like, does he mean like it's closer to the release? Like it's not going to one-shot pile titans? Like we all knew it wouldn't. But yeah, I don't know. Railgun getting a buff. And then an Impaler fix is coming, but he says it also will need one more round of patches after this. Expect it to be more interesting, but we know it has more potential. So the fact he said expect it to be more interesting is interesting. Are they adding new attacks to it, or like what's up? Are they just nerfing it again? They just need to make it not send you to your Super Destroyer.
Not send you to space, man.
Yeah.
Like that is so goofy.
And they need to increase the time between hits by like 1 second or
Even-
something, so you can get up.
Listen, even if it just didn't send me to space, I think I'd be mainly okay with it. Just me personally. All right.
I kind of like how relentless the tentacles are because it gives you a reason to have your team anywhere nearby.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Impaler, we'll mention that in a second on this next section. Okay, so what we want to talk about that a lot of people aren't paying attention to is the charger changes. So number one, the charger butt, you're going to be able to destroy it quickly with primaries, hopefully similar to a Hulk, because I know everybody's shot out a Hulk heat sink, and that's pretty straightforward. Primary weapon just usually one mags it. So that's cool. Bile Titan head fix is apparently coming. Just like Game of Thrones, the dragons are coming. They'll be here one day. Let's see if that one ends up working next patch, but hopefully it does. And the entire belly is susceptible to small arms fire. So this will be similar to the Factory Strider, I'm guessing, where you don't really want to shoot a primary at it. But because it's possible, it means that stuff like the Autoc Cannon will be really great at killing it. So Autoc Cannon already can kill Bile Titans from underneath, but it takes over a magazine. It's not the best way to deal with it. But what we're going to be talking about is the Charger Carapace getting nerfed to AP4. Now, a couple people had asked when we were saying that the armor on the Charger is getting nerfed. They said, no, what if they buff the AMR and the Autoc Cannon to be AP5? But if we go to the message from the game director, the 60-day plan, one of the bullet points on here is rework Chargers. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Charger armor is getting lowered, right? So he specifically mentions you can knock open the Carapace with an Autoc Cannon and then pour AR rounds into it. And we're going to go over the specific Charger changes. Let me just make sure there's anything else with these messages. Hold on, that lagged out. Let me just see. I'm going to pull some of these back up. Okay. All right. So Charger changes. So there's a couple questions we have with the Charger changes. He mentioned the Carapace, which I looked up the definition of Carapace, and it's like the back shell of a turtle was the example that Merriam-Webster dictionary gave. So are they just making the back lower armor, or are they also going to do this to the legs? It's just a question I have. What do you guys think?
I don't know. It depends. Hopefully, it could be that they're doing it to all of it. Currently, it's all the same, right?
Yeah, it's all heavy armor.
Yeah, then I don't see it changing. They will probably do this to keep it the same, yeah.
I imagine it'll stay the same just because they liked leg meta whenever we started doing that and wanted to preserve it. So I don't see why they would go back on that now and not change the entire armor set to B4.
Okay. Okay, now, if they change it to Armor Pierce 4, for anybody in the chat who's not hip, these are basically the guns that you can shoot at the Hulk's visor, the Autoc Cannon, the laser cannon, the HMG, and the anti-material rifle. What do you guys think about an Armor 4 Charger? Because we talked about this a bit.
Scary.
You mean...
Like good change, bad change?
Scary change.
Scary in terms of, what do you mean?
Scary in terms of it's going to put the Autoc Cannon even further into the spotlight, and then it gets nerfed, and then we're back to square one.
I mean, nerfs are going to happen regardless. It's like
They
at this
are, but
point.
I don't know if the community can handle it. Everyone went ballistic about the flamethrower. They lose the Autoc Cannon too. I don't know. I think it's over.
I mean, to be fair, though, he
I mean,
specifically said...
ahead.
if they're changing it, he specifically said like the autocannon will be effective against it. So I think they definitely know. They said they're doing more. I don't know. So obviously, guys, like, how much testing do they do? But I think they probably shot an autocannon at a charger, if I'm being honest with you, because Pilestat specifically said autocannon and AMR.
Bro, if they drop the armor to AP4 and then they nerf the items that are good because of AP4, I mean, it's okay then, I guess. Like,
I mean,
what else is there to say?
It just feels like such an Arrowhead thing to do right now.
That's possible. Will with
Yeah.
the $2 says better than no change at this point. So that's kind of my take on it.
That's true.
I think that the armor 4 change is a little bit too far. Like, I think it's wild that they're doing this because I feel like all anyone wanted was for anti-tanks to one-shot it, for the butts to be weaker so that you can spam it, like maybe with a primary if you have to, and then for there to just be a few other weapons, like the flamethrower that can deal with it from the front, and the railgun, right? So that's all anyone expected. Just let it get one shot by anti-tanks. Let us spam the butt a bit easier. And then a few exception weapons like the flamethrower and the railgun, which can also deal with it from the front. So it does feel like an overcorrection. With that being said, though, I'm going to hop in the game and play it. And if the game's fun, like if the game's more fun because of it, then I won't complain. But
listen, if there's 15 behemoths running around, even if it's AP4, it's not gonna feel like it's easy. It's still gonna feel like it's just gonna feel like you have something to do against them, and not just run for 3 minutes and wait for your stratagems every second, or use 57 stuns because they spin around, all the time. So I think it's gonna be definitely better than what it is. Like it's how does it get worse than what it is?
Yeah. So actually, that's what I was about to say too. Was just how I said earlier with the charger butt being easier to spam. That's similar to a Hulk. Well, if the charger's front armor is also AP4, that's also kind of similar to a Hulk. So you could just compare it directly to that. To be honest with you, it's going to be tankier too. It's not going to take 2 shots probably.
It will also create better team play because like you can do callouts if you're with a team and everybody will just if you have heavy machine guns, you can just go for it and target kill these chargers, and I feel like it's gonna be more fun. Right now you can't even do that. Like what are you gonna do when a charger's running? You're just gonna run most of the time unless you have like very specific weapons that are effective against it. And one of the most effective ones is the Autoc Cannon, right? And in that case, you don't even need team play. You just go for it and destroy them on your own. So I feel like this is overall going to be way better than what it is now.
Sure.
But they have to fix the hitboxes too. Like if it's as clunky as it is, still going to be better than what it is for sure, no matter what though.
Like, I think the primary killing the charger through the rear thing is great. That's a fantastic change. That reminds me very much of HD1 balancing, where like any weapon is viable against any target if you have the right weak point lined up. And that's just more engaging combat-wise. So that's a great change. I think the AP4 armor change hinges entirely on how good the change is to anti-tank, because if we end up in another situation where it's 3 flat tires and then you've got AP4 weapons and the bugs where it's like this is all anyone's running because it's status quo, it's the only thing keeping up with the game. Arrowhead has historically always nerfed that tire instead of inflating the other ones, and then they inflate them later. So it's a scary situation unless that anti-tank buff is also very significant.
Yeah, we'll get to anti-tanks as well. Matt with the $5 says, honestly, if you're being realistic, it's just a big ass bug. So it actually makes sense to be able to penetrate with higher firepower than small arms fire. Yo, Matt, thank you for the $5. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like, honestly, the Hulk comparison, because I thought of that and then Pip said it. Like, we already kind of fight this kind of enemy. It's the Hulk. Like, are Hulks, like, being able to kill Hulks with autocannon, does that trivialize the bots? I don't think so. Yeah. And also, Hulks get, like, 2-shot by autocannon and AMR, but you do have to be precise. Whereas Chargers, you only need to focus one body region, probably. But they will be tankier. Like, Chargers have 1,500 health right now, which is probably getting nerfed because of some messages we're going to cover in a second.
But But when you're talking about Hulks, the reason also they feel like don't feel overpowered or whatever, and you don't feel overpowered against them or whatever it is, general is because they're mechanically done correctly. Chargers are glitchy. Like you can destroy their armor, and then you're shooting the place where there's no armor, and it deflects.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can try to shoot the tail from the side, and you can't hit it because the hitbox of the leg is too big, and I can't hit it from the side. So I would argue that even if those things were working as intended, it would already be so much better, because those things really make it harder to deal with them. And of course, the spinning and all that stuff and those crazy turns. I think in general, bots are like when it comes to technical fights of knowing the weak spots and destroying them are way better designed in that area than the bugs overall. And I think that also, causes all of this.
Yeah, so
I don't
John,
know if Tokyo Drift Charger's ever getting fixed, boy.
that's a desync thing.
Yeah.
They could work on it. They could work on the netcode or something. I don't know. But that is desync. John the Tactician points out AMR currently breaks the legs around 5 shots on Esker during the acid rain. It's going to be ridiculous. But that's what I mean. It would be 5 shots to break the leg with an AMR, right? It's two AMR shots to just straight up kill a Hulk. So like it's very similar to the Hulk in where you can take it from the front with an AMR and Autoc Cannon now. Or if you end up getting behind it, you could just spam it with a primary in the butt. So I think in terms of the Chargers we're used to, it does seem really ridiculous. It does seem like an overcorrection because that's my initial reaction. But like now that I think about it as if it's just a Hulk, it kind of does make sense. And it's a lot tankier. Acid Rain just reduces the armor.
Going along with the comparison to the Hulk, it doesn't feel overpowered at all to use an autocannon against a Hulk. That much is true. But how much are we actually seeing people bring hard AT to bots because the autocannon is effective and it's status quo in that regard? Like we almost never see hard AT brought into bots unless it's a 20-minute rocket defense and you get to stay still a bit.
So we'll get into some of the AT changes because I think we could elaborate there. What I'll say in terms of the autocannon being the best weapon is that it already is the best weapon right now, let's be honest. I think the main issue is that other stuff feels bad.
Yep.
So
that's always been the problem.
Exactly.
That's like the historic problem of Helldivers too. One thing's good, everything else feels bad.
So right now the autocannon's the best, but everything feels bad. Next patch, the autocannon will be the best, but most things hopefully will feel better. So that's my take on it. I don't really have a problem with that. But if they nerf the autocannon because of it, that would be crazy.
I would totally believe it at this point. I wish it was a harder sell for me to believe that, but I totally believe it could happen.
Yeah.
It will 100% happen.
All right.
Not like after maybe right away, but with time it will happen for sure.
We'll see. All right. So we talked about autocannon, laser cannon versus Chargers though. Anybody going to start laser maxing? Come on. That's what I mean. Like, are we going to start laser maxing? Are we going to start having more fun, guys? Like a full laser max squad against bugs will feel a lot better now. Let's be real.
Yeah, it will. If they do drop it to AP4 for sure. Will it still be, depending on which difficulty you play, like you'd pick up like the laser, yeah, or like the support one. You would take out the charge.
The laser buddy.
It will be pretty cool. Yeah.
And the scythe.
I'm not picking up the scythe.
And don't forget the dagger.
Yeah, the dagger.
And don't forget
shit, that one's a beast.
The orbital laser.
Yes.
Come on, Pips. Laser maxing, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
This is what the game should get to, though. Just having more fun. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. It's going to be great for build diversity, which is a really big deal.
If autocannon's meta, who cares? I'm not playing the meta. Screw it.
Also, if they lower the butt, though, like the tail,
yeah,
the HP, that's also crazy.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like depending on how they lower it, you might not even care about the support weapons if you play it correctly.
Yeah. I feel like it's likely to be a durable reduction.
Yeah, durable.
That thing's sitting at like 100% on several of the Charger variants. I think the only one that isn't 100%, or no.
I think they're all 85, aren't they?
The Behemoth's 100. The Spore Charger's 100, and then normal Charger's 85.
Okay, the normal one's 85. Fair enough.
So let's say if they drop it to like 50, what changes?
If they drop it to 50, I think a Liberator can one mag it.
Okay, what about like, for example,
Might be Stalwart Gaming.
the Dominator?
It'll kill it faster.
Or the Plasma Shotgun.
So Plasma shouldn't really change if it's a durable change. And that's why I think the durable change is the right way to go, because the Plasma is already good against Chargers. It'll be the non-Plasma weapons that get better.
Yeah. Okay.
So if they drop it to 50% durable, which I think is the way to go, because the durable weapons are already pretty good at it, killing the Charger butts.
I think Dominator in that case would destroy him probably.
Yeah, Dominator will get better at it, because Dominator has good durable, but it's like, what, 30%, 40%? Something like that.
90
to
275.
Like 30%.
Yeah, 30% sounds right.
Yeah, so Dominator will get better with the durable nerf, but if they lowered it to 50% durability, literally a Liberator would one mag a Charger butt. So
yeah,
that's
I think that would be the perfect kind of change, because the weapons that are already good at it get better at it, and the weapons that are worthless at it get viable at it.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone's talking about the support weapons. Obviously, it's been on the screen now. Here are all of the stratagems that will either now be effective versus Chargers or will be more effective versus Chargers. So some of these stratagems at the bottom, like Orbital Airburst Strike, which is one of my favorites. I think it's underrated. I know some people like it, but a lot of people don't use it. This is an AP4 stratagem. It's already great for mobbing. If you could throw this on a bug breach and take out a couple Chargers, that's kind of hype. Anti-tank mines are AP5. So AP5 stuff will be better at Chargers, because if they're lowered to AP4, you don't have that armor match penalty anymore. So I think an anti-tank mine will be able to one-shot a Charger, won't it?
It technically should be able to do it right now, but the damage is too exact and the fall off is too fast for it to actually one-shot them. So it'll absolutely one-shot them once the damage is if they essentially doubled because of this change.
If they lower the leg, right?
Yeah, if the leg is lowered to 4, it will absolutely one-shot a leg, because it can potentially one-shot a leg now, but it needs to like detonate with the leg directly on top of the mine, which never happens.
Fair enough. All right, everybody's two favorite sentries, Rocket Sentry, Autoc Cannon Sentry, will probably shred Chargers, because these are both AP5. Emancipator Mech is another AP5 thing. This will be twice as effective against Chargers next patch. So that's pretty hype. Like, the mechs aren't in the best spot, but some people like them.
It's actually a huge deal for Emancipator, cutting that in half.
Thank you for stressing that, because it really is.
Yeah, it's like, it's something stupid. I forget. It's in the 20s, isn't it?
Yeah. A 120 millimeter barrage. I forget if I think this will be able to. I think a single 120 will be able to one tap a Charger. So that's pretty hype, because they just buffed the cooldown on that, and I've already been bringing this against bugs a little bit.
Too bad.
The 120?
Yeah, the 120
napalm version. That's the exact same thing, but napalm.
Also, railgun safe mode against the legs. So railgun in safe mode is AP5, but once you start charging it, it goes up to what, AP6 or 7 or something?
Goes up to 7, yeah.
Okay, so safe mode shots, if they lower the leg armor, railgun in safe mode might be able to just like 2-shot safe mode legs, which is what it was doing on launch, which is kind of hype.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. So next one, let's be real here, guys. Eagle Airstrike, baby. The good old handy dandy Eagle Airstrike. This will probably, it already can kill Chargers, but sometimes it doesn't. But it'll probably just be more consistent at it. So Eagle Airstrike will be sick. Orbital Gatling Barrage, already sick. It's also AP5. It'll be twice as effective against Chargers next patch. And then also Strafing Run. I think Strafing Run can one-tap a Charger right now if you line it up perfectly.
It has to be very perfect.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
So potentially it's way more forgiving, and it doesn't have to be perfect next patch.
Yeah.
Another huge one here: impact grenades. Anyone
Yeah, that's
remember?
wild.
Anyone remember impact grenades or AP4? Anybody remember that?
I'm pretty sure I'm bringing impact grenades again if this change goes live, especially with how many more bug holes you have to close on 10 now.
Wait. They're also don't rush it, Irvin, because they're also buffing the hell out of thermites, from what I heard. That shit might just one tap them. Yeah,
I didn't see anything about the thermites.
I'm just making shit up, bro.
Oh,
I'm hoping, Irvin. This is all me, like like being hopeful.
the
What if it
thermites
happens though?
are some disgusting design.
900 damage per second.
Per second.
Per second. Yeah.
This dude wants
At
to
the
Throw
end of
this on a
thermite, it's like
teammate more than I
4,000
would throw it
damage.
on a-
this dude
Yeah.
wants a Bile Titan to die and one tick to a thermite.
I just want to throw that on a teammate and see what happens to them.
Yeah, pretty much.
You
Yeah.
get atomized by the first tick.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about thermites, I think in my last video, because I was like, dude, if they just buff thermite, like that would open up so much build options. Like if
They
your
do need to buff it though.
if your anti-tank can be your grenade, like that helps with build diversity.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
and then
thermite would be in an infinitely different spot if they let the thermite DOT actually stack with itself, because currently it doesn't. When you light them up like a spirit sparkler and they're all stuck to the same spot, you're only getting one thermite worth of damage, and that is fucked up.
fair enough. And then other people mentioned in chat the HMG emplacement. That'll be sick. This thing's already great. But against bugs, you gotta hop off it when a charger shows up. So HMG emplacement, real sleeper. All right. Any thoughts? What are you guys looking forward to using most on this list next patch?
I mean, if the tail is like nerfed, right? We don't know what how much the HP is going to be or whatever. I would honestly, I still think that regardless of what they do with the other grenades, like I love stun grenades and the ability to like control the environment. So I'd probably still bring him, and then if the tail is much weaker, I just stun and go for the tail with my primary. I think that would be very easy way to kill it, depending on how fast it dies. If it like still takes 3 mags, I'm not interested. But other than that, I would there's gonna be heavy machine gun is gonna be incredible, I feel like. Or railgun.
Yeah. Railgun will be really sick, honestly.
Yeah, it will be for sure.
Also, I think like using impact grenades against chargers sounds wild, but in the world where it's currently a stun grenade meta, that's good because people will bring it. And honestly, a lot of people will stick to stuns.
Yeah, I'm definitely, unless they nerf it, which I wouldn't be surprised.
But Pips,
Like
what on this
side
list
nerf.
are you looking most forward to?
It would be. Do you mean for the charger changes?
Yeah.
I mean, I truly believe by the increase of difficulty that they've done, if this change will take place, this is not going to be too much. The only thing, I think it's going to be perfect, actually. I like everything here. I feel like the overwhelming amount of behemoths that we get really warrants this change. However, like as Erwin pointed out, it's a very good point, by the way. If they, like the philosophy is we nerf off of numbers, this will skyrocket all of these weapons. And there's going to be 2 or 3 out of even these weapons and these ones that we have like, listed here. There's going to be a bunch of them. A few of them that are going to be better than 70% of what we have listed, right? So people are going to, stick to those mostly. And then it could be what this could cause is then looking at those things and then bringing them down. But overall, this is still every change that I see right here in front of me. I think is really good. I don't mind any of it. I think it's good. I think it's good for the health of the game.
All right, Pips dodging the question. Ervin, what one thing on this list do you want to use? I know you're.
So I know I was talking a lot about the Autoc Cannon and how scary it is for Autoc Cannon, but I think it's going to be an HMG takeover when I really think about it.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
HMG is currently sporting the highest DPS in the entire game. And the only thing it's behind is the Autoc Cannon in durable DPS. So if we're talking about durable reductions and we're talking about armor reductions on the charger, I think it's going to be an HMG takeover because the HMG already dumps charger butt pretty quick. If you reduce the durable on that, it's going to be gone in like milliseconds.
Which I think is good because HMG has that stationary slow reload. So they
Yup.
shouldn't nerf it. It's got downsides.
Most importantly, I'm a big personal shield enjoyer on the bugs, especially whenever they put the impalers in the game. And it was so funny because everyone was like, what do you do about these impalers ragdolling you? It's like, oh, I just wear personal shield. I don't even notice they're trying to ragdoll me.
Yeah, it blocks it really well. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, heavy machine gun for sure. I think it will, because keep in mind, like if they do all these changes, heavy machine gun will kill this very fast, right? Especially if you go for the tail, let's say, if they drop the durable, and that means that you'll still have all that ammo for any of the other enemies, which heavy machine gun also absolutely destroys, bro. Apart from the Bile Titan, you can kill him
Yeah.
too, but not as effectively.
Well,
It's gonna be
well,
kind
no,
of,
but they're making Bile Titan stomachs be more susceptible to small arms fire. So HMG will do it.
Yep.
Yeah, but all of these things, like, I understand that they're saying, but like on paper, it might sound different. You always have to kind of test it, right? Yes, it might do more, but what does that mean? Does it mean 2% more, or
It's going to do
50%
double
more,
the damage
70%
more. If they keep the Titan
Yeah,
health
I don't know.
the same, and they lower the armor it takes to shoot from underneath it, HMG will be twice as effective. Next patch.
And how many shots does it take now to
A
kill
full
the Titan?
magazine. Exactly.
So you can, if you stand under a Bile Titan with a full magazine, you'll kill him 10 out of 10 with one full mag.
Well,
Yeah.
if you hit every shot. If you hit every shot, it's exactly a full magazine with the
Oh, I thought
HMG
you
right
meant
now.
like next patch.
No, this patch.
So realistically, it's like at least 2 mags, because he
Right
moves
now.
around. You're gonna miss.
Right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
next
yeah.
patch, it could probably be done in a mag pretty consistently.
Yeah, right now the only time you should really be even trying to do it is if you like whiff a 500 or orbital precision, and it's
Yeah,
like, well,
exactly.
he's taking some damage, so I can probably finish him with this. But like next
Yeah.
patch, it'll be like completely. We're theorizing it's going to be completely viable to just mag dump below the thing, and it'll go down. Similar to why it's like really satisfying to bring that weapon against bots and then kill a factory strider like that. You just wail on the door. It's kind of going to feel like that, I imagine, which is going to be awesome.
I could
What
pull
does
up a
small
clip.
arm fire mean, though?
Medium pen or light pen, like the factory strider. Well, the factory strider's medium pen, so I would imagine medium pen. I could pull up a clip actually.
Yeah, making the whole stomach vulnerable to small arms means that they're going to have to reduce that stomach armor to at least, like, a minimum. It's going to be down to 3, but probably realistically 2.
Is this the HMG? Yeah, this is it. Here's an HMG against a Titan right now. Give it a second. I was like fighting all these random bugs. It's like if by the math it's a full mag. That's not counting drop off damage. And also you have to hit every spot, and the hitbox is super weird underneath. So hopefully, so the hitbox underneath.
That's what I mean, though.
Well, no, but the hitbox underneath actually has 2 different armor values. So if they change the hitbox underneath to just be susceptible to small arms fire, it'll make sense. Here, let me
I don't know if it's.
So this is when I start
don't know if
shooting it.
it's 2 hitboxes or if they're treating it like it's rounded, and then you're bouncing bullets when you're not at a flat surface due to armor pen meeting. I'm not sure which it is.
So you can see I use a full magazine, and then I end up reloading, because you can see I get some armor bouncing. But as soon as I reload, it goes down like instantly. So like I miss some shots, but it's basically a full magazine right now. There you go. So I used 1 mag, missed some shots, and barely used any of the second one.
Hop.
So that's hype. All right. Shall we move on from here? All right. So one other thing Heilstedt was mentioning, well, a few other things. And so from these messages, I kind of got some theories on what's going to be going on next patch. So first of all, he responded to me and said, we're not working with breakpoints anymore. The experience should be more of a gradient. We will do another update when we get feedback on this first patch. Obviously, this sentence is weird because as long as enemies have health and as long as your guns have damage, breakpoints just exist. However, my whole kind of thing, like the video I posted, the guns are designed to suck. The guns were designed to not meet breakpoints. So for him to say we're not working with breakpoints anymore, and also if I pull up the 60-day plan thing where they mentioned how they're going to change their philosophy on primary weapons and find different ways to make the game more difficult. So I think they're just, he's trying to say that they're not going to be making the guns be shy of breakpoints anymore. Another thing is somebody asked if they saw my feedback doc. It's blurry, but that's what that message says. And Sham said they've seen it. And then Pilestedt mentions, agree. If we buff or nerf things in the future, we'll continue to do that. So they will continue to buff and nerf things. But the reason why it has changed is the core issue. So we talked about this last week when on the last podcast, when how we're saying everyone is like afraid of nerfs. But then I asked in chat, the example I always give, what if they swap the damage of the Breaker Spray and Pray and the Breaker Incendiary, and more people are okay with that? Because that kind of change makes a lot more sense, right? So that's what he's saying here. And now we get to the point where he says the recoilless rifle is a hard counter to the Charger. One shot to the body and bye-bye. And in my feedback document, I talk a lot about counters. So let me pull that up. So this is where my theories for what's happening next patch is. So here's my feedback doc. And I mention we want teamwork to come from defeating multiple enemies. Example, I bring the heavy armor pierce for Hulk. My teammate will bring a grenade launcher for the mob. Thus, I am able to counter my enemy, and my teammate can counter his. Being able to efficiently counter an enemy with the proper weapon would lead to more consistent rather than frustrating gameplay. So I just noticed that because I talk a lot about how the weapons should be like when you're picking your loadout, you're actively choosing, like, I'm going to counter this enemy, right? And
yeah.
So he mentioned that. He said the recoilless rifle is a hard counter. Now, a couple other things I mentioned in this feedback doc was anti-tanks being able to one-shot tanks on the bot side. So the Annihilator tank is literally a cannon tower. These are the same health, right?
Yep.
Now, another thing I mentioned was the spear being able to one-shot Hulks. And then this is just my feedback. Who knows exactly what they did with this? I'm not saying they're going to follow me exactly. With that being said, though, the hint we have is the recoilless rifle is a counter to the Charger. So it's going to one-shot it to the body. So,
Okay.
What is the damage of the recoilless rifle? It is 650 damage, armor pierce 6, which is one level above heavy armor piercing. So this over pierces basically. And then it's 150 damage, armor pierce 3, and this is the same for EAT and Quasar. So the Charger body health is 1500 health. The recoilless rifle only deals 650 to a Charger basically, right? So what are the changes that are going to happen? Are they going to bring Chargers down to 625 health? That seems a little dramatic. Are they going to buff recoilless rifle to 1500? That's way more dramatic. I don't think they're buffing recoilless rifle to 1500. So with that being said, maybe they'll meet it in the middle. Are they going to nerf the Charger a bit and then buff the recoilless rifle a bit? That's probably what I think is going to happen. Because...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right, I'm about to finish anyway. So that's what I probably think is going to happen, because those were issues I pointed out. There's also the tanks needing to be one-shot by anti-tanks. There's also Hulks needing to be one-shot by spear. And yeah, that's the end of my point. What are you going to say?
No, I was gonna say that's what I mean, right? Like a lot of these things, what he says in general always, and he always says, don't take me exactly for the word. These things might be different, but these are like very, very, broad things. Like we don't really know. We know that this is gonna do that, but how is it gonna work? Maybe they completely are reworking it. Maybe there's some kind of, like as you said, meeting in the middle. Maybe they're buffing one thing completely like crazy. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. The point is, though, they have to make it, as you said, they need to get to the point where some tools are very effective at what they're supposed to do, you know? And as soon as like anti-tanks not destroying anything and sometimes needing 27 of them to kill a Bile Titan is crazy. You know what I mean? Like if they can kind of fix those things and just the consistency of the game, especially on the bug side, goes up, it's already going to feel 10 times better.
Well, I agree with you, Pips.
So what I want to see here. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with Pips, but I'm speculating, bro. I'm theory crafting here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so hard to do this though, because like at the end of the day, we're very hopeful, you know. So all our speculation is always going to be like, we want this to happen, we want this to happen, and the reason I'm trying to keep this on the lower part for myself personally is that I don't want to get like my expectations really high, and then it doesn't happen exactly as we want. You know what I mean? But as ThiccFilA is saying, if that happens, that's fucking amazing, bro. That's all that people want, really, right?
Yep.
Go ahead, Irvin.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this from the point of view of what we know for sure is changing, and what we know for sure is changing is AP4 is going to be fantastic next patch.
Yeah.
We know that is going to be true. So what do we need our AP6 anti-tank weapons to do? Well, they need to be flawlessly effective at the only thing that they can do, because the AP4 weapons are already sitting in this middle ground where they're super effective against mediums, they're super effective against heavies now. We need these weapons to just be completely dominant against tank class enemies. And to do that, I need to see, and this is like what I need to see happen with the Recoilless. The Recoilless needs to be one-shot killing the Chargers to the body. It needs to be one-shot killing the Bile Titans to the head. It needs to be potential one-shot for the Factory Strider on the eye. It needs to kill Hulks to the body. And the Spear needs to kill Bile Titans when it cracks them in the back to stay relevant when the Recoilless gets that improvement. I think you change hard AT to be able to do those things based on just this very brief, vague sentence from Piles. You do those things, hard AT suddenly becomes very relevant in the game, where it is currently just not. Outside of 20-minute rocket, like people bring hard AT in 20-minute rocket because it's 20-minute rocket, but like other than that, I never see this stuff brought anymore.
But here's the question. Like the way I always looked at it, right? Like if you take other games as well, like there's levels to enemies, right? Like for example, there's in Destiny 2, there was a knight, there was, you know, wizard, whatever, right? And obviously ogre was the upper difficulty because they had more HP and there were yellow bars, whatever. So if we take the charger and it drops to AP4, and let's say recoilless at this point, you one shot it to the body, and then the recoilless can also one shot the Titan to the head. Is that good or bad for the game? Is going to be the question.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
It'd
definitely be good for the game.
In that case, what that would mean also, I'm just playing the devil's advocate here, is that in many ways, as soon as you have any kind of aim, Bile Titan is pretty much on the same level as the Charger, right?
If you bring recoilless.
Yeah, if you've been recoilless. But
is
the recoilless the only EAT that only that is getting?
Or EAT or Quasar. Well, we don't know exactly, but as of right now, recoilless is the same as an EAT or a Quasar.
Yeah, decently safe assumption that all three are basically the same weapon with different, different quirks.
Yeah, they're trade-offs. So what I'll say on that is there's a reason why you want to bring Autoc Cannon over recoilless rifle, even if recoilless rifle one-taps Bile Titans or one-taps Chargers. The reason being because Autoc Cannon can also handle those enemies, albeit slower. But what Autoc Cannon's also really good at is one-tapping Alpha Commanders. Or two-tapping Bile Spewers.
And clearing Devastator hordes.
And Devastator hordes. So if you bring the recoilless, you are worse than the Autoc Cannon player against Bile Spewers, against Devastator hordes, and for what it's worth, how many Chargers show up on your screen? A lot, right? So like
Yeah.
you only have 6 shots out of recoilless. You only get 2 EATs. Quasar's got a long cooldown, right?
Yeah.
So and then
Yeah.
same with because a couple people in chat said factory striders getting 1 shot is crazy. That seems crazy, but let's be real. Against the bots, Autoc Cannon and the AP4 weapons and AMR, laser cannon, HMG were always the best bot weapons, always, because they can deal with every enemy the bot has, but they also can deal with devastators. Because let's be real,
Yeah.
what's the real threat on the bot side? Is it the factory strider or is it the 57 rocket devastators?
Trick question. I think it's the AP4 bunker turrets that are camouflaged into the walls of the super base.
Listen, we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, I just think that they need to. So there has to be, at the end of the day, I still do believe that I would love that change. Don't get me wrong, but I still believe that there has to be a little bit more fear when you see a Bile Titan than a Charger. So I don't know how they're gonna work it or not, but I feel like there needs to be levels to enemies, and that's why currently like Bile Titan is, for me, Bile Titan's HP has never been an issue. It was always the inconsistency of it. If it would consistently die, I could kill it, but it just doesn't. Sometimes it will take me 7, and sometimes 1, and sometimes 14. So I'm not saying that this is not a good thing. I'm just saying that for me personally, I always prefer to have levels to enemies. So a Bile Titan should be more scarier than a Charger. If I can one-shot them both, that's just a taller Charger for me. You know what I mean?
Let me just ask you another question. How do you deal with Bile Titans right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, right now, am I giving you an honest answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play.
Bro, Pips, how do you deal with Bile Titans when you play
my
right now?
My bad. Okay. I bring the precision.
Okay.
And I run under him. I drop
And you
precision.
one-shot them.
So you're
Yeah.
already one-shotting them.
Yes, with the precision. That's on a cooldown, and there's a risk factor of me getting under him, and there's tons of enemies and all that shit. You're not gonna have the same risk with the EAT. That's what I'm saying.
But that's the whole point of these changes, is that our guns are underpowered and inefficient.
Yes,
the whole point is we want them to be efficient.
Yeah, I agree. They need to be efficient, but I'm saying that the whole thing of one-shotting all of the enemies, for me personally, like when I think about it, what's the difference then as an enemy type between a Bile and a Charger?
Whether you brought Autoc Cannon or Recoilless, or brought HMG or Recoilless.
No, we're talking about Recoilless.
Yeah. I'm saying the biggest difference between those enemies is which support weapon you brought. It's going to feel very different.
It's going to feel like your choice.
If I bring Recoilless, I'm going to instantly answer Charger and Bile Titan, and I'll instantly answer the Charger and the Bile Titan. That is true. But what I won't instantly answer with that weapon is the medium enemies. I'm not going to instantly answer Bile Spewers. I'm not going to instantly answer hordes of Alpha Commanders. I need another answer for that in my loadout. But if I bring the HMG, I can kill all of those. I can kill all of the mediums. I can still kill the heavies, but it's going to be slower. And that's like an actual choice at that point, where right now, if they don't do that, we're not looking at an actual choice. We're looking at, well, I'm just going to bring the HMG, the Autoc Cannon, the AMR. I'm going to kill everything because the current Recoilless doesn't do enough to justify bringing it when I'm going to lose that effectiveness against the medium enemies.
Okay, but in that case, if they do make this change where you can one-shot the Titans, whatever,
like in the intro cinematic,
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. They need to massively increase the amounts.
So
like I don't know what they're gonna do, but if there's like 2 Titans every game, like most of the time it is now, and it's mostly like behemoths, depending on which planet you end up on. But I would definitely do that. For sure.
The game definitely has plenty of time to scale up the difficulty. This is actually something Piles commented on. He said that this is going to be likely the least challenging the game has ever been. However, they're going to be working on that over time and focusing on just getting the game up to a point where people are having the most fun they've ever had in the game.
Yeah,
and not
that's how
focusing
it
so
should
much
be,
on the
right?
challenge. And I
It
mean,
should be.
Helldivers 1 had 15 difficulties, so we got plenty of time to add more challenge into the game.
Yeah, they just what needs to happen is that we need to be able to kill shit, but we still need to get overwhelmed. That makes sense.
Yes.
Like if that needs to happen. Not like,
Yeah.
oh my god, we can kill everything and it's easy, or not like, oh my god, I can't kill anything, so now I need to run. It has to be the middle where we can kill and they can kill us. And that's where the fun is, right? That's where the skill comes in also, and team play comes in also. Currently it's not that. And yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And the back of the box says overpowered weapons and overwhelming odds.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's how Helldivers 1 was. That's what
Yeah.
made Helldivers 1 compelling. Big scary thing comes on screen. Guy with answer to big scary thing removes big scary thing. If that person is under some kind of pressure where they can't handle that, like say you are the recoilless guy in your squad and the Bile Titan's on screen, but you're under pressure because there's a horde of hunters on you or something, like you can't take the shot right now. That's
Yeah.
going to create the tension still, where like even though you have this instant answer, there's now a Bile Titan stomping around doing whatever it wants while you get chased around. And that's like what created the threat in Helldivers 1 was sometimes things just don't go according to plan, even though you do have all the answers at your disposal. And sometimes you're getting run down by something while your recoilless guy's dead and the weapon's on the ground.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I'd like to just point out is we did do a podcast episode 2 weeks ago where we specifically talked about how can they increase the difficulty. The whole topic of that podcast was, let's say that they listen to us and they buff all the weapons. Let's say that this happens. How can they increase the difficulty? And just some things I can remember off the top of my head was stalkers and bug breaches. Pips, do you remember what we were talking about on that podcast? I only remember stalkers and when we had FaZe on and Reginald.
Oh, you mean like the when there would be planets where specifically stalkers would spawn and shit?
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact details. No.
But
I remember somebody mentioning that, like, imagine, I think it was you who said that at like planets where there would be like specifically a lot of like overwhelming amount of stalkers jumping out of nowhere and destroying us. That was scary as hell. Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah.
And FaZe posted a video about this recently as well. You guys should go check it out. FaZe Shifta. He mentioned like it would be cool if there were proper raid fights. So like imagine a Factory Strider variant, and instead of a cannon turret on top, it's a stratagem jammer. Because what do the majority of you guys do when you see a Factory Strider? We start lobbing Eagle airstrikes at it, right?
Yeah. So like throws whatever they have off cooldown at the time. Yeah.
So like one-shotting a Factory Strider with a recoilless sounds crazy, but currently in the game, every time I see Factory Striders, you know, I do want to go kill it because I think it's fun and I like fighting the Factory Strider because I find it to be an interesting enemy. But when a bunch of shit is going down, okay, I lob my Eagle airstrike and my precision strike over there. And usually it works pretty well. You know what I mean? So, and that's how I feel about Bile Titans. Like currently, everyone just throws a precision strike on it. And yes, precision strike has a cooldown. But a lot of builds bring precision and 500. And yes, 500 has a cooldown. But there's 4 dudes on your team, and every single one of them has a precision. Everyone's already one-shotting Bile Titans, for the most part, unless you miss. But, same could be said for the recoilless changes. And it just comes down to there's many different ways to make the game challenging. Currently, the game is challenging because the guns are underpowered. But ultimately, the game mechanics are easy. Like the guns, the guns are underpowered, but the game is easy, which is wild. Like I don't know, that's a crazy combo.
I forgot to mention this. Like the other day when they were discussing, the pals that all the messages and stuff in Discord, in Helldivers Discord, and one of the, I believe it was one. Is the red names the mods?
No. What'd you see anyway?
Well, I think it was one of the mods, but I might be wrong.
The red name is support team.
It is, right? Okay, okay. Team. So this guy was saying that it's definitely a skill issue, and that even Liberator in its normal form is really, really effective on the highest difficulty. And like
Okay.
people were like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And this guy kept on going. So I asked him, I tagged him, and I was like, "Hey man, what's up? I would love to stream and use the Liberator and just show us how to use it so that we understand what we're doing wrong on tier 10 difficulty." And I just tagged him, but he literally answered every single question apart from that one. But like those ridiculous claims, I don't know how these people make those claims. Like, why would you even do that?
Well,
I don't get it.
listen, here's the thing though, because technically it's not wrong, but that's the issue. That's the disconnect. The game itself is easy. If you get good at the game, if you understand how to play the game, which half the time the true meta is just running away, let's be honest. You can literally go solo a super hell dive by running away the entire time. You don't even need a primary weapon. So from that perspective, yeah, the Liberator's viable. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's wild where the weapons feel ineffective, but the game is still easy, and it's because the meta is just running away or using stratagems.
Yeah.
So,
you know how I would make the Liberator viable for bots done?
What?
I'd put it away and pull out my actual primary, the Autoc Cannon.
The Autoc Cannon, yep.
Yeah, and then the Liberator is completely viable at 10 guys. I'm just going to use the Autoc Cannon as my support weapon and never use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think once again, the biggest disconnect with these dudes happens when they think that completing a mission is the same as what we're asking for, right? They think that we're asking for, make the game easy. But what they don't understand is that game is easy. Like, as you said, the missions are extremely easy. It's about having the ability to kill and have fun and blow shit up at the same time as you're completing these easy missions already. That's what they don't get. And yes, technically you can put on Liberator and complete a mission. If that's the argument, then yeah, then that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else, dudes?
I personally feel like the game would be in its healthiest state if, when it comes to bugs, the gameplay loop is smashing bugs, having fun, killing hordes, pushing through hordes, and like playing actively against the enemy. But I also really like the different experience of bots where it's like, wow, this is really overwhelming to take on straight up. I kind of want to actually play around this and not engage everything I see and like maybe sneak around a little bit. And I don't know. We kind of lost that too with bots 10. It's like not as easy to sneak around and like have that enjoyment anymore. You really do have to full frontal engage a lot more than you used to. Because you walk up on a base and there's just like 4 Hulks in it now, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not sneaking around that. OPS out. You know? Like,
yeah. Yep.
Never mind.
Worst with a $50 dono. Thank you, Worst. He said, as I said yesterday, changed up my loadout to strafing, Gatlin, rail, and precision strike. I kicked its ass, but didn't enjoy it as much. A W doesn't make me want to play more. The turrets are my bag. Worst, when did you join the stream? Because the Autoc Cannon Sentry and the Rocket Sentry are going to be potentially really, really good against Chargers next patch. So, and Chargers are the Sentry's biggest enemy. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real. So we talked about that here. I'll show that again. I'll show that again for Worst. Yo, Worst, thank you, dude. No, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, here are all the items that'll be better against Chargers next patch. And Rocket Sentry, AC Sentry on there, buddy. Don't worry. Yes, whenever I do feedback forums on stream, we take it from viewers as well. I can't wait for my build to come back. Recoilless, Autoc Cannon, Gatlin, and Machine Gun Sentry. Yeah, that'll be lit. All right. It is time for the part of the show, Live or Dive. You guys ready?
Let's go.
I'm going to show you guys some clips. You're going to have to guess, how did they live or how did they dive? Let's get started. Let's get started. Everyone in chat, get ready to guess. All right, first clip.
20 seconds. We're going to drain the swamp. Joe Biden left the water on this planet to mess up the Helldivers.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
It's a swamp.
All right, chat. Either the swamp gets drained or the drain was swamped. A or B?
Holy shit. I am so confused right now, Chad. I'm not gonna lie.
Does the swamp get drained, or was the drain swamped?
It's B.
You just hit us with the orb of confusion.
I have no clue what's happening. B.
Oron's excited.
I'm gonna say A.
A? Okay, we got one for each. Chat, what do you guys think? I want predictability.
Not necessarily deep water. No, I said it was fake news.
What the fuck just happened?
Reinforcement
I got stealth mech'd.
budget depleted.
Truly
I was there for
unfortunate.
that live, actually.
Truly
I should've seen that
unfortunate.
coming.
I don't have any explosive though. What the fuck? I'm gonna buy one on KG.
All right, next clip,
More
next clip.
stalkers.
Stalkers. Into the water.
No!
Oh,
Drown.
is he gonna drown? Does the stalker kill him in the water? The real meta is the friends we made along the way? Or a fucking impaler tentacle in the water?
No, there's no way, bro. Not an impale tent. No. What is that? Is that his teammate looking at him? D2?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I
Chad,
can't.
it's something with the teammate.
Hold on, enhance. What is that teammate carrying? Because that matters
Exactly,
a
Arvin.
lot.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't even
I
know.
can't tell. It's so pixelated.
Oh, he doesn't know, Ervin. He doesn't know, meaning it doesn't matter. Meaning
No,
he has
I
nothing to do
literally
with it.
don't know. I can't see either.
Yeah, but you
Uh,
know what happened. So if you had, if
Yeah,
it
but I
mattered,
don't
you would have
remember.
known.
I'm gonna say the stalker kills him because I don't think D2 has a staggering primary. Oh my god, he did.
I don't know what it is.
He just
I'm
Pips, what do you think?
stalker, probably, right? I don't know.
All right, well, you voted stalker everyone already.
Oh shit!
Look, and then he protects his friends.
yeah.
The real
Bro,
meta.
These boys lived.
The real
He had a
meta.
staggering primary. He passed the stagger check.
He passed
Yep.
the stagger check. I clicked play too early. My bad. Yo, Comatose
Jedi,
Jedi with
thank
the
you for
5. Sorry, I'm late to the party, contributing to the starving meme diver fun. Yo, thank you, Comatose. Let's go. Wow, so whole.
Chad, I just learned this. This is new tech.
Wait, what happened?
Did he cut?
Uh-oh.
Wait, is my stream
Oh.
lagging?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I think we're back.
Yeah,
Are we
we're back. We're back. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
I think we're back. Yeah.
Dude, you guys cut off. I was like, where'd you guys go? All right, are we lagging? Is my hand at 1 frame per second?
Chad,
Back,
are we
boys?
good?
Yeah, everyone says we're back.
It looks usable.
Dream
It's okay.
stroke. Okay. We're good now.
No.
Okay.
We good?
That act of altruism was too powerful.
It was. Had to refresh. Stagger on stream. Yo, Hadu with the 4 months and
Yo,
going. Rip
Hadouken.
frames. Hadu, thank you for the 4 months. Is my hand moving back and forth at 1 frame per second?
I think we're good.
We good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right.
Run!
Man's gotta use 2 hands.
Oh, whoa.
Chad, I just learned this. This is new tech. This is new
I
EAT
wasn't
tech.
actually trying to land on you there.
What was
Trying to
that,
find a safe
Filet?
place to drop.
All right. So, option A.
What?
Yo, filet. WTF, says Pips.
Yo, that actually is what I just said. That was crazy. Yo, you can't make that shit up. You can't make that shit up, bro.
Yo, Isaac, with the 2 months, we will win by the power of friendship. Isaac, thank you, brother. Clotheslined, cannon turret lol, or I'm just gonna do this till the clip ends.
I hope you do this to the kill pants. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What is close?
Nobody pick A. Nobody pick A because that was just to troll Pips. It's either B, C, or D.
That wasn't even a troll. It was perfect.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
what do
know.
you mean by clothesline, though?
Clotheslined.
Clothes lined. So, oh, he gets naked. That's what it is, Erwin. So
I'm
I'm
seen a
gonna
clothesline?
say he gets cannon turreted here because that would be the best comedic effect.
Or do
I
I,
just
just do
hope for
this till the
D.
clip ends?
Oh, that sounded so wrong. Yeah, D.
I
sounds
want
so
to live in a
wrong.
world. I want to live in a timeline where C is the answer because I think that would be the funniest.
Well, let's see
I
what
just hope
happens.
C.
My body is not safe, brother.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, lead.
Yeah, there we go.
I just got fucking clotheslined.
Bro, look at that. That's
body.
wild.
What happened?
That was crazy.
That's
that was
wild,
crazy.
dude. That's wild. All right, this clip's really dark. It is what it is. This is the game we all play. Why is this so
Boom, supply
dark?
pack. I don't know. It's not that dark for me, actually. Boom. He's grabbing everything. This guy walks up. My boy's locked in. Destroys him. Grabs the supply pack. Ammo. What the fuck is he doing?
Hey, it's double triple credits. Let's go, let's go.
All right, straight up lives, mines, command bunker turret, cannon turret. This is probably the most difficult live or dive. This is actually just either live or 3 die options.
Well, I don't know how he won't see those mines. So probably not those.
There are mines on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see how he doesn't like see them. You know what I mean? And dies
Wait.
to them.
What armor is this? What armor are they wearing?
Dude, it's so dark. I genuinely don't know.
It's so hard to see, dude.
Let me rewind.
Like
it.
if it's light,
It looks like
it looks
medium
like
padded.
standard.
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
like
it's just
medium padded.
padded. I mean, that'll live a shot from the bunker turret, so I don't think it's bunker turret.
His HP's full too.
Yeah, he's also
HP's full.
stimmed. Like he's on damage resist stim. I think he gets cannon turreted into the mines.
I say he lives. He lives.
All right,
I
cannon.
believe in
I'm
him.
saying cannon turret into mines. So
Well,
mines.
Aravan, I'll give you one chance to guess again because it's either cannon turret or mines. Or
Yeah, but
command
like the
bunker
cannon
turret.
turret wouldn't kill him, so it would be mines. No.
So then you guess mines.
Yeah, mines. I'm
Okay.
saying mines.
He lives.
All right, let's see.
Oh my god.
My boy lives. Boom. Watch this. What the?
What the fuck?
Exactly. My boy lives.
Just straight lives. I don't know why.
Yeah. Let's go.
Homie should be dead.
Nobody
Yeah,
asked any
yeah.
questions. Nobody asked
Everybody
any
was
questions.
like-
Impaler.
Exactly what you were saying.
Once he
Is
sticks
it
his head in the
worked
sand,
as
everybody
intended?
laser cannon him.
Yeah,
What
if,
the-
if it wasn't Helldivers 2, then he'd be dead.
Chat, can I just
Yeah,
talk
pretty
about
much.
Can I just talk about this is what I want to do next patch, okay? I don't care about nothing else. All right. Are we going to get a sick laser maxin kill on this impaler? An orbital laser starts getting closer. Stalkers or stealth charger squad wipe.
Nah, it can't be a squad wipe. No. Thick laser max kill on impaler. Orbital laser starts getting closer. I want it to be stalkers. I'm not gonna lie. I just hope they just rush in and annihilate you guys. That would be incredible.
Chat, you ever
I want it to be D because you guys are all locked in looking at this target, and we all know chargers don't make any noise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chat, you ever look at your orbital laser and you're just like, "Hey, why isn't that moving?" And then it turns out it was getting closer the whole time. Yo, Will with the $2 says no one expects the trash meshing. Yo, thank you for the 2. All right, so Aravan says D. Pips, you said C?
I want it to be C. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a
Oh,
bunch
he's
of them, like 50
fucking
of them.
staggered.
Yes,
Yes!
I knew it.
Nice. Nice.
It fucking
Oh my god,
killed
did he
all of
squad
them.
wipe?
It's squad wiped.
Oh, yeah, I just killed everybody.
Holy
You were all
shit.
I knew it,
Aravan
bro.
was
You're
on
all
point.
so
Yeah.
locked in. There's no way you hear it coming because they don't make any noise anyway.
Aravan
That's
was on
crazy,
point
dude.
with that one. He said they're all lined up and locked in. You were on point. Yo, BT, thank you for the $5. Yo, thank you.
T-minus 10 seconds. Affirmative. Helldivers never die.
Helldivers never die.
That's gotta be one of the biggest lies.
Traitor.
Oh yeah, dude, he's
Pelican
he's
is
kicking
drunk. An eagle never misses. Or everyone makes it home safe.
So what does traitor mean in this case though? Like what is it?
There's
What-
just a
Wait,
traitor.
is this T1 in front of him right now?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is.
He gotta be kicking him, like punching him off the. I think so.
No. I think
T1 is me, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, wait, it's you? That changes things. I was about to say he's coming up to you with his reticle on you to give you ammo because he can see that you don't have any in the bottom left and he has a full supply pack. But it's you, so I think traitor.
No. T1 is in the front. I'm in the front. This
Yeah.
is-
He's going to punch you off the cliff.
Silly's behind me.
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah,
punch
that's
you
what I'm
off the
saying.
cliff.
Like
100.
the way he knew exactly what he was doing, like he was sprinting at him.
This
he
looks
wants to
like
elbow him in the
premeditated
teeth.
murder.
Exactly. I agree.
Here, let's rewind the
agree.
clip.
Hey.
Let's rewind the clip.
Ban anyone that says B. Let me see.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
look at him, bro.
No. He gives you ammo for sure. He just picked up a supply pack to give you ammo. There's no way he throws you off the cliff.
I don't know.
I
Or
mean, you
maybe he
never
gives
know.
you ammo and then throws you off the cliff. That would be
Six
great.
teams are just crazy, though.
You know what
They
they
always punch
say?
each other.
An eagle never misses.
I'm gonna go with what I want to see happen. I want him to give you ammo and kick you off this cliff
So traitor.
because that would be the best. Yeah, I want to see traitor.
All right,
I agree.
Pips, traitor.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Has to be. Boo!
He gave me ammo.
Nope, just a good teammate.
Damn, that's embarrassing. Not killing a streamer? That's crazy.
Dude, we need daytime maps.
Dude,
These
not
clips are
like
so
Terminator.
dark.
Oh. Thanks, Pelican. You remember when it said on the patch notes they fixed this?
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do, because it was on the patch notes that they fixed
Yeah.
this, and I was like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even happen anymore. That's been fixed for a while.
The Pelican.
And then it started happening again.
The Pelican was drunk. It do be like that, unfortunately. Sometimes
Yeah,
Pelican
it
be
do be.
drinking a little
Yep.
too much.
Yep.
Let's go. That was bait.
How'd this get in here?
That was bait. He actually did give me ammo, which is crazy. Ervin, you were on point again. He said your ammo is empty. Has the supply pack. He picked up the supply to give you this. You were on point.
Yeah, literally, if it was anyone other than you in front of him there, I would have said he just gives you ammo and the Pelican's drunk.
Yeah. That's also
But
true.
because
yeah.
it was you, I just really expected them to kill you
See-
or like give you ammo and then throw you.
You had it backwards because if I was the one in the back, I surely would have punched them off. That's the difference.
100%. Thick
Oh,
was
yeah, for
kicking him
sure.
off that hill.
But like I'm working within, limited knowledge. I'm not sure what you've done to him previously that game.
Listen. I was the original Chaos Diver. That's all I'm gonna say. Alrighty. Fun segment of Liver Dive. Let's hop into some Space Marine 2, boys. We're gonna start covering some Space Marine on the podcast. We'll also keep it Helldiver related, but maybe the first podcast after Space Marine comes out, we'll just do a Space Marine podcast. Because I know everybody's gonna be playing that in the first week, 2 weeks,
Yeah,
months.
for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So we can give people feedback, like how the game feels. Because a lot of people are gonna wait for the 9th as well. And we're gonna have the opportunity to do that podcast and kind of, talk about shit.
Yeah, because early access is Thursday, and then it's not out till Monday. Actually, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So let's watch the newest trailer real quick. We all already saw it, but let's change the mood. And then I think it's the game director, Tim Willits. He did a Q&A where they confirmed that more classes are coming to the game, which is super hype. And some other stuff. Yo, Video Game Mom with the $2 says game fun yet? Just wait till the next patch, Video Game Mom. Wait till the next patch. Wait, is that a double $2 or is that a lag?
It's the double two, no?
Video Game Mom, thank you for the $4. Fuck! Video Game Mom, I'll cash app you $2. Just DM me your cash app. Why did it send twice? All right, thank you, Video Game Mom.
Death comes from the void.
Titus.
We defy its cold embrace. We remain
Go, baby.
unbroken
I'm gonna be smashing them.
because we
Ervin, you seen this trailer yet?
are the Space
No.
Marines.
No, I haven't.
Nice.
Numberless enemies surround us, leaving nothing but dead worlds and desolation.
how the enemies are crawling on each other.
are the Emperor's
Yeah.
His blade, his shield, forged for a single purpose,
And the Zinch.
to answer the call of war.
Yeah,
That was so good.
yeah. They've been drip feeding the content in the trailers closer and closer to launch. But yeah,
Yeah.
they revealed the second faction in this. I love how the enemies are crawling on each other as well. The same dudes who made the World War Z, the Swarm engine. So
Yep.
So they're going to be able to render hundreds of enemies on your screen. All right. So
I'm sure
the
my computer will love that.
it will. Frame divers. So Tim Willits, I think he's the game director or something like that. Maybe community manager, who knows. Did a Q&A. Now, this is titled, "We have a game that will exceed expectations,"
Yep.
which is wild to me.
That's bold.
That's really bold. And I think expectations are already high, so maybe it'll just match expectations. Because expectations are pretty high for this game, I would say.
Maybe they're speaking in general terms of like your general expectations of a AAA title in 2024. Because I think that would be very easy to exceed, which is basically anything.
Well,
Anything
they can't
decent at
really
all.
do that. I think because like they have such a good game in Space Marines 1, right? That
Yeah.
everybody's gonna kind of like compare it to that. So they have a very high bar to beat because back when that game came out, it was incredible, right? So I feel like I just think that might be just really confident in their game, and that might be literally where it's coming from. But as you said, that could also be true because the bar is so fucking low right now. It's like,
Yeah, like where is
Yeah.
the bar even at our shins
yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
for a AAA release this year?
Super bold title. Now, Pips already went through this, so we're going to try to go to the more exciting info. Let's scroll down to the questions. So with Space Marines 2, you're taking a beloved game and finally making a sequel a decade later. Are you feeling the pressure? Yes. Warhammer's been around for 45 years now. Millions of people love the franchise. The first game was popular. But I also want to say, as a fan or as an action gamer, have never played the first game. Don't worry about that. You can start Space Marines 2 and it's a complete game. It's actually difficult to play the first game now because it's only on Steam. There's an expectation from 40K fans that we treat the universe with respect and that we get things correct. Then there's an expectation from fans of the first game, as well as just fans of Saber and action games. So yes, the expectations are very high, but I believe that we have a game that will exceed those. Yeah, that is bold.
Yeah.
So he's even
what I'm saying.
acknowledging the expectations are super high.
Yeah.
Well, you know what that means? We get to be even more critical now. We'll tell them, did they exceed our expectations?
Bro, I'm at the point where as long as I can kill shit, I'm happy.
Right? Those are your expectations.
Yeah, that's my expectation. Thick. If
All-
I can kill bugs, I'm happy, bro.
All the Helldivers players are just going to be like, yeah, give me that flamethrower. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
you have literally a legendary IP to work with, and it's a horde shooter. It's a co-op horde shooter. It's so hard to miss with this kind of gameplay and like have it actually not be fun. So I can't imagine that like this game could even possibly flop. Like it's gonna hit for sure.
Yeah. So one thing I really liked that they mentioned here was so if you guys aren't aware, there's basically 3 major game modes. There's the campaign, then there's the PvE mode, which is sort of the end game, like the end game missions, and then there's PvP. So the PvE missions, I didn't know this. The PvE missions run parallel to the campaign. So you want to beat the campaign, or I think you have to beat the campaign, and then you can hop into the end game missions. But it
Yeah,
looks
so-
like the PvE, the endgame missions, kind of go along with the story. So that's actually pretty cool to me. I like that.
Yeah, so for all the people that have played the first Descendant, for example, chat, you guys remember how you have to finish normal mode completely, the campaign, and to unlock like hard mode, so you have to kill the normal bosses at end of every chapter, and then you unlock like the special missions and everything at the end. From what we understand, it's going to be the same way. So you're going to play through the campaign, and then you're going to have like 6 or 7 different special operations, and you're going to be doing those that are going to be also kind of tied to the story.
I do really like that it's tied to the story, though. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Polaris said in chat, the microtransactions in Space Marine. I'm pretty sure there's no microtransactions.
No.
You can buy, so you could buy like the Ultra editions and whatnot, but it comes with skins. So there's no pay to win, and there's not even cosmetic microtransactions. Except if you consider buying the Ultra edition, you do get more skins and stuff.
Yeah, you can spend money to buy skins. Yeah.
I want to say I've heard that the future monetization of the game is all cosmetic.
All cosmetic. Yes. At least for the 1-year plan that is ahead.
But I don't. But there's
post-launch. We're looking at cosmetics.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think there's like a. I don't think there's like an in-game store where you can buy skins. Like it's just like, did you get the Ultra edition?
No.
Yes or no? And they're
From
gonna
what I
have.
understand, that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not like an in-game store or anything like that.
I mean, isn't it just going to be marketed as DLC?
Yes, but I believe even the DLC content is free. Like I'm pretty sure the Ultra edition is just straight up cosmetics and early access.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Big J said it's season pass. It's gonna be a season pass in game, which like isn't an in-game store, but it's like kind of an in-game.
Yeah, it's more traditional.
Season pass.
It's traditional.
Yeah.
It's like a $60 game with DLC. It's the traditional monetization. It's not microtransactions.
We're living in a world where the season pass is traditional. What has happened?
Also,
well, they call it a season pass, but like
in terms of, oh, go ahead.
Story games used to come out where it's like you buy the story game and then you buy the 4 DLC, and ultimately that's like the same thing as a season pass. Let's be real. But you don't have to buy the content DLC in this game. I'm pretty sure it's literally, if you pay extra, you get cosmetics. That's it. Yo, Will with the $2. There's pay extra season pass for cosmetic only. Yeah. Thank you for the 2. Go ahead, Pips.
No, I was saying in terms of balancing. So the way the game is balanced from PvE to PvP for all the people that are interested in PvP is everything that you unlock in PvE regarding like your skills, upgrades, whatever it's going to be, it's completely nullified for PvP. So all of the weapons and everything like that, the upgrades do not transfer to PvP. It's going to be like on the same level for everyone. That way, for example, somebody that put in like 100 hours in a week and somebody that put in like 15 hours in a week will not be on different levels in terms of PvP. So you're just going to pick a class, get into PvP, and you're going to be on the same level in terms of the amount of damage and everything like that. So it's going to be more like skill-based kind of. So you don't have to worry about not investing enough time, guys, and then jumping into PvP. And you're also going to be able to use only 2 classes per team in PvP. So, for example, 2 assault, 2 bulwark, 2 snipers. You can't do like all bulwarks and
all
anything
sniper.
like that. Yeah, and the same for PvE. You can only have 1 class per team in PvE as well.
Yeah. All right, so they say here the game was meant to come out in 2023. Can you share what were the reasons behind this 9-month delay, and what did you improve? They just needed more time to polish it. You know that old saying, a game is only late until it ships, but a bad game is forever. So I think the dude, what's his name? Miyamoto? The guy who made the Nintendo, the guy behind the Nintendo game said this. So this is an old saying because, again, traditional games used to launch. They didn't do all kinds of patches and stuff. Nowadays it's different. But he said, we wanted to focus on making sure that every component, the single-player campaign, and the PvE co-op mode, all those were solid. So this game's already went through a 9-month delay to polish it up. There's a lot to this game, and I feel that players will feel good regarding value and content. When you have all those systems, you have progression, you have multiplayer. Sometimes things take longer to get right, but I'm glad that we took the time we needed to make sure that we got it correct, because 40K fans want it correct. If we screwed something up, they would be mad. And so we really wanted to honor the franchise, we want to respect the universe, and we want to make the game that people want to play. Pips? Ervin? Any comments?
He's a good PR guy.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the only game that's ever broken that mold of like a bad game is bad forever is like No Man's Sky, and it took them literally years of effort to put it back
Yeah.
on track and put it back on the market in a way that people actually wanted to look at it. And it's yeah, I mean, you release your game in a bad state, no one's ever going to look at it twice, and they're probably going to refund it too because this game's expensive as all hell.
Yeah, I think this is a really old video game saying as well. Like this is before they did weekly patches and monthly patches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like this saying is actually from like the 2000s.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk release date was also like pretty deplorable.
Yeah, but I think the point he's trying to make is they want the game to be good from launch. They don't want to launch a bad game and have to
Yeah.
fix it and bring people back. So, I mean, he's setting the bar really high, which is bold because you definitely open yourself up to that criticism. Because, like, for me now, I'm super hyped for this game, but if they miss on something, I might point it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're also working with the Warhammer IP, so it's like they have to live up to those expectations already. They already have those bars and expectations to live up
Well-
to working with the IP, I think.
Well, one thing is though that makes it easier for them, and I think this also gives them confidence, is they have this already pretty much this everything that is in this game exists in terms of World War Z, right? So like the mechanics of the the enemies and the way the turrets are going to be working, like he discusses all of this, not at this post but in another discussion where he says that it's literally very similar to that, and it's the same guy that worked on the other game. So he just transferred to his studio and he brought all that knowledge. So they know, it's not like they don't know what they were doing, right? So they probably perfected it in a way. And like the way he talks about the enemies and how the turrets work and together, and they think the AI just tries always to surround you and fight the weak spots and what you're looking at and what you're not looking at, all those things. So it was already something that was there, and they're just implementing this and into this. And they also know how many people enjoyed that in the other games, right? So I feel like that's what giving them the confidence to say all of this. But we live in a time, bro, where we hear the crazy shit like this, and then you launch the game and you can't get into the game for the first 37 hours. So you never know.
And they patch out your save file from early access to launch.
Dude, you know what happened in what was the game?
Outlaws.
What was No, not Out. That's crazy. But like, no, not Outriders. It was Outriders. We were playing, bro.
Oh, I
when it
skipped
came,
Outriders. I skipped Outriders.
Dude, it was such a fun. I had a blast in the game.
Yeah, I heard it
But
was
there
good.
was bugs, fillet, right? Huge bugs, right? And my friend like played crazy amounts, even more than me. And I know live those games when they come out. And this guy was like, Pip, I'm gonna join you. And he joined me, bro. And all of his progression was gone.
Dude, that's so
He-
wild.
His whole account got completely annihilated. He started from 0. They couldn't recover it, nothing, just because he joined me in co-op.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is
speaking of
wild.
that, we've actually had 2 very, very, very recent AAA early access flops. With the Ubisoft's new Star Wars game, the early access for that game, people are losing their saves.
Yeah.
The game's bricking, and now you have to restart the game if you played early access. Meanwhile, on the Blizzard front of things, the World of Warcraft expansion comes out, and leveling's extremely easy during the early access period, and they immediately nerf it as soon as everyone else gets a hold of the game. And now the narrative that people are spinning is like, oh, so Blizzard hates anybody that bought the standard edition of the game. And, like, you see a bunch of memes of like, Blizzard hates poor people is basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, I mean, we've actually had 2 really bad early access misses
Yeah, already.
happen in the AAA
Yeah.
scene, like
Regular, bro.
within the last couple months. It's bad.
Well, listen, chat. I always say don't pre-order. Only reason I pre-ordered is because let's be real here. I have a YouTube channel. I'm literally gonna make money from Space Marine videos. Like, otherwise, I would not pre-order it. If there was no early access, I wouldn't pre-order it either.
Yeah, that's a good question. Would either of you guys have pre-ordered this game if you weren't a content creator?
No,
Because I would not.
I don't pre-order.
As soon as I would see the Thunder Hammer, yeah, I'd be like
Listen,
tripping in front of my screen and my
Listen, when I was a
externally buying it.
young boy, okay,
That's true.
and
My
Po-
bad. I
and-
forgot
and-
you're old. I
and
forgot you're old.
and Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver launched, we pre-ordered those games because GameStop had a limited amount of copies, right? They would sell out the first day and then you would have to wait a couple days for them to ship more in. That's why we pre-ordered. That's
Jesus,
why
how
we
old are you?
pre-ordered. 28. Isaac with the
Okay.
$5 says, you guys are haters.
old.
Star Wars Outlaws and Concord are great games. Put a 1 in chat if you agree with Isaac. Chat's going to be silent. Chat is going to be silent. All right. So yeah, I don't recommend pre-ordering because also companies take like their pre-order lists and they like show that to their investors or whoever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they use like, oh, we got this many pre-order sales, and they always just try like, I don't know, man. I don't like
That's
it.
jokes aside. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't
They
like
base their stuff off of it, and then what they do is not do more at all. They're like, oh, okay, they pre-ordered. We're fine. We made our money. So then they just don't give a shit.
There's some indie games like Ervin, what game were you talking about before we started this?
Aska.
No, the Fallout
Forever Winter.
Forever Winter.
Oh,
Forever
that one
Winter.
looks so good, dude.
Forever Winter is like an indie company, and they're doing a pre-order sale where you can get that for $27 if you want to support them. That's different.
Yeah,
and,
I'm
and
definitely
that's something that like you want to support an indie company. That's different. But like AAA games, quadruple A games, double A games, let's be honest, don't pre-order this dog shit. But Space Marines looks good. Okay, it does look good. Anyways.
Yep.
No, yeah, Space Marines looks good. If you pre-ordered Space Marines, I don't blame you. But like, I always just say like, don't pre-order stuff. Just don't do it. All right. So they asked, based on your estimates, how long is the campaign gonna be? And he said, it took me 12 hours to complete it, but it depends how you play, on what difficulty, whether you're with human buddies or by yourself, etc. And then the PvE co-op operations mode continues the story of the campaign. We already touched on this.
Yeah, you say continues. Yeah.
But they said, yes, when you play through the campaign, there are times when the other Space Marine squads go off and do other important missions in the big storyline. So it's like there's one mission where you have to send a signal and the defenses have to be knocked out, and you hear that there's a squad doing that. Well, when you play PvE, you're that squad. The battle is so big and there's so much going on that we've engineered these co-op missions to fit into the story and make you feel part of the bigger conflict. This is what I thought was really cool. I like that. Because I've played Vermintide, and I don't even know if that game has a story. But Vermintide is just kind of missions that you just kind of go into. Vermintide's really fun, to be fair, anyway. But I do like this sort of feeling. Because usually I'm not super into the stories, but I feel like I might be able to get into this one a bit more.
Yeah, it's story's really nice though on this one.
And for anyone who
Yeah.
doesn't know any Warhammer lore, Pips is streaming a Warhammer lore stream soon after this podcast. Is that today,
Yeah,
Pips?
yeah, I'll probably go live today. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Was that not today?
yeah.
What were you-
I just had it off there because I got a message, but then they messaged me back that I don't have to leave, so I'm putting it back on again. So I'm still waiting for like 5 minutes to understand what the fuck they're doing,
All right.
and depending on that, yeah.
Fair enough. What were you gonna say, Ervin?
Oh no, I don't remember.
Shit. All right.
Class system,
Classes.
interesting.
I know you have a class system for multiplayer modes. Can you talk about that? Indeed. Are you familiar with World War Z?
Ah, there we go. Yeah,
I'm not. I didn't play
No,
World War
me
Z,
either.
but it's the same company who made it, and a lot of people said good stuff about it.
Yeah,
they
the
said-
horde mode was insane in it, dude.
Yeah.
Insane. When my friends played it and just watching it was incredible.
The Swarm engine is what it's called, right? That's their
Yeah.
game engine, and it can just render like hundreds of enemies, and it doesn't lag your frames.
Yeah, it was insane to watch.
Yeah. So World War Z's game director, Dmitry Grigorenko, was the game director on World War Z. He's very good at progression, class identities, and attributes. As you play, even in PvE, as you progress, you unlock different classes and you can earn experience. you can use some of that experience to upgrade your characters, even in PvP. So it's like World War Z, where you have things like the Assault class, the Heavy class, and the Support. We have Warhammer 40k names for them. But you can pick one that you like that fits your style, and then you can apply your experience to those classes. So there is progression in PvP then.
Progression, yes, but the skills and everything are not gonna be.
It's
The
probably like
progression is
this-
It's
only
different. It's different though, right?
customization.
I imagine the stats are normalized, but then like
Yes.
the
Have you
gear
played
is
Guild
what
Wars?
you unlock. Yeah.
It's
that's
exactly like Guild
exactly
Wars.
what
Guild
I'm
Wars.
thinking. Like Guild Wars 2 PvP.
Yeah. So everything like skills and everything. So for example, when you unlock a sniper, right, and you upgrade it to like level whatever max level, and your damage goes to 10, that will not transfer into PvP. It will be the whatever it is decided to be in PvP. Let's say 5, it will be on 5 or like 3 or whatever the starting stat is, and that's it.
The
So your
progression will be
upgrade-
the fact that you have the gun.
Yes.
Okay. All right. How deep is the progression for each class? It's deep. World War Z was deep. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I feel players will be happy. Like World War Z, we will have updates where we will expand classes, weapons, and game modes all for free. So I guess they'll expand the classes later on.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Isaac with the $5 says, "Happy birthday, Pips. 57 is a big number.
Oh my
Looking good, Cat
God.
Pip."
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
5, Isaac. Wow, donating to Bully Pips. That's crazy.
I can't believe I
Crazy, bro.
Thick $5 to bully you.
Yeah,
Pips'
it's insane. But it
birthday
is what it is.
was last month.
57.
All right. And then, do you have plans to add new classes to Space Marines post-launch? Yes, we have plans for it. There will be new stuff for everything. Okay, so that's super cool. I can say, as a Borderlands fan, when they added those two new characters, that shit was lit. Just giving you more ways to play. Also, that'll be really good for the PvP as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Ervin, have you played any of these games? Space Marines games?
Nope. This will be the first time I played one.
Nice. Okay, nice.
All right, so then they ask, is there some sort of randomness attached to the co-op made to keep things interesting? So I'm sure some people are worried that the PvE is just the same repeatable missions. And they say, yes, the game knows that you've played those missions before. And if you play them again, you can have different enemies. So you may play a mission, and then all of a sudden, Chaos Marines show up. We do add variety to that. It comes back to our AI director, which is a key component in our Swarm engine.
Yeah, that's the guy.
We have the Swarm deck, which controls the actions of the swarms of Tyranids. When the swarm breaks and each Tyranid starts to come at you, then the AI director kicks in and it understands the state of battles. It can bring in heavies, and it can bring in ranged attack Tyranids. As a Space Marine, you are the ultimate killing machine. You're plowing through these Tyranids, but at some point you start to feel overwhelmed, and you're fighting and fighting, and then you just finally make it through with barely enough armor left to survive, but you've done it, and that is all due to this very advanced AI director that helps kind of orchestrate these battles. I have one question, Pips.
Yeah.
So I noticed they say Tyranids with ranged attacks, and in Helldivers, you only fight the bugs. So is this a problem for you? Because it seems like they're going to have bots on the Tyranid side.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like being shot. You like to do the shooting.
Yeah.
Are you going
But
to
I mean-
are you going to pick the heavy class to block the ranged attacks?
No, I'm gonna play the sniper because like they did a poll and it's the least picked class.
Is
So,
it?
I'm gonna go for it was like below 2%.
That's funny because I think all three of us are thinking about playing it.
Remember, you can't
That is
play it.
crazy.
If you all pick it, Ervin, you won't be able to team up.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that like it's the class that all three of us were looking at, but it's the least popular one.
Oh yeah. Because apparently, like the problem with it is, so it's like squishy, obviously, compared to other one because you only get like 2 armors, and you gotta be like the beginning of the game. The sniper is gonna be very very weak, right? So you gotta build it up all the way. And realistically speaking, like if you play Space Marine 1, you actually get an idea how the game works, right? Obviously, it's completely different, but it's very obvious that in these games, right, like you have these little enemies that are like trying to swarm you at all times. Those are while they can destroy you if you don't play it smart, right? And that's what's really cool about Space Marines. Like when you play it, you're killing so much shit, but you still have the feeling that you could go down at any time. You know what I mean? And the harder enemies are the important enemies. Like if you can kind of get them out of the way, which is the elites, right? Elite packs or whatever, or the mini bosses, so to call them. That makes it much easier. And I think that's when the sniper comes in. But yeah, it's not going to be easy to play, especially at the beginning. I think Bulwark was the one that was the most picked. And it obviously makes sense why. That shield and sword looks incredible, dude. And the super ability that they have where they put down the barricade and, heal your armor and shit, that's dope. So, yeah.
I'm also interested in the grappling hook, dude, because he looks cool.
I feel like that stuns in PvP.
Really?
So, yeah, 100%. Me and my buddy that played PvP, we're breaking it down frame by frame, kind of, and it stuns. Every time he grapples to someone, you can see the other Space Marine that gets grappled, he does like a front step and kind of wobbles.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Unrelated, but when you were reading out that bit about like you start to feel overwhelmed and you're fighting and then you just finally make it, when you were reading that out, I like
with
mentally,
barely enough armor left to survive.
Yeah, I mentally recalled reading that thing about the throwing knives in Helldivers 2, and I took mental damage.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Because that's what it kind of felt like.
I know. That's why I said at the start, they set the expectations super high, but all the post-traumatic malevolent creakers are just gonna go into this game and be like, hand me the heavy flamer, brother, and we're gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Like they don't
heavy flamer.
Do you think they know? Do you think they know they're gonna get all the PTSD creakers?
Probably.
At this point,
they have to be somewhat aware of what's going on, where the community is coming from. They're not going to be like, "Wow, we have a lot of players."
At this point, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then they go deeper on PvE versus PvP. Are the classes or are they class skills in multiplayer the same across PvE and PvP, or did you balance them differently?
Yes.
There are similarities, but there are differences because obviously fighting Chaos Marines is way more difficult than fighting Tyranids. There are behind-the-scenes changes and adjustments that allow for challenging yet approachable gameplay in PvP, as well as having fun with your buddies in PvE. When you're in PvE, it's okay to feel overpowered.
Oh, shit! No way he said that, Filet. Are you reading that correctly?
In PvP, not so much.
I don't believe you.
Are you sure? Are you sure the shotgun doesn't need to lose 3 of its mags?
Chat, I didn't read this article yet. I meant to before the stream, but I didn't read it yet.
So you're making shit up. There's no way he said that.
It just seems like it's lining up. It just seems like it's lining up.
Yeah.
In PvE, it's okay to feel overpowered. You don't got to balance the game as if it's a PvP. Chat, is this real? You don't got to balance the game as if it's a PvP sweatfest. If you want to go have PvP sweatfest, go to PvP.
Yeah, it's actually, contrary to popular belief, it might actually be okay for an automatic weapon to have more than 15 rounds.
Garavan, what are you? You were making too much sense.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This feels like shots fired. This one feels personal, man.
Yeah. Yep.
It just makes sense. Sweaty PvE esport. All right, and then they say, what's great about PvP is something I call the dance of death, where you can't just button mash, you gotta move. You have your blocks, you have your grabs, you have your counters, you have your fast melees, you have your long melees, and then you can have weapons. You need to keep moving, and then attack, block, attack. So there is this dance of death we've created in PvP.
Oh, that's so cool, bro.
Real quick, well, with the $2 as pre-orders increase 1,000%.
Yep.
Thank you for the $2, Will. So this is really cool as well because I am interested in the PvP. I've played a lot of PvP games in the past. Let's be real, we all have. But also, I really do like PvE. Like all my YouTube content has been pretty much PvE. Borderlands, Helldivers, Space Marine coming out. I'm gonna play a ton of PvE because I really like build crafting. But Pips, you've talked about this before that it's nice because PvE is like the draw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's what makes people want to play the game. And then while you're waiting for like the next season content to come out,
Yeah,
you
just
could just
play
hop into
PvP, right?
PvP and just have some fun in the
Exactly.
downtime.
Have fun with your friends, and that's why games with PvP, regardless of people enjoy, like people are like, yeah, but I don't play PvP. Yeah, but that doesn't mean people don't. And with the people that do play, keep the game afloat in the time of when there's not a lot happening in PvE. Then the PvE content drops. We play that, and it's back and forth. So it's really cool to have both modes for sure.
Yeah. Ervin, you hopping into some PvP? We getting in some
I
games,
think a lot
bro?
of I think a lot
for
of folks
sure.
are like looking at the game in a way where it's like, oh, this will be fun for a couple weeks, or this will be fun for a month. But I think if you get sucked into the PvP, that's how it lasts
Yeah.
Exactly.
substantially longer. And I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to try it out. It's not what I'm excited to be doing in the game, because I'm definitely more like you. I like build crafting. I like theory crafting.
Mhm.
And I'm definitely going to lean more towards the PvP. But I'm sure like there's going to be a time where I'm like, I feel like trying the PvP, and maybe it captures me, and maybe that's what I'm doing. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Also, because there's 6 different classes, and you can pick. So it's teams of 6 in PvP. There's 6 different classes, but you can pick 2 of each class. I feel like there's gonna be some like team strategies we could do. We could just go meme and have fun in PvP.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
like we could just, I don't know,
Sure.
just make, like, I just want to make fun content for this game as well. Like, I don't want to try to be the ultimate sweat lord in PvP. I just want to meme out and just have fun, honestly. That's what I'm
And
looking
it's not
forward
like
to.
you can make a lot of you can't really make a lot of builds in PvP. There's not going to be, because you can't really utilize the perks and shit. So if you would like to make content about PvP, it's got to be like more like guides on how to do this or do that, or team composition, or how to win easy or something like that. But because you can't really make builds in PvP in this game, I'm assuming, unless they change something. But as Erwin said, like min-maxing and shit and build crafting will be amazing in PvE though. Depending on the missions too. That's another cool thing, right? Different missions are gonna need probably different team compositions, I would assume. And then you could make a build that is good for solo play, like when you're playing with the 2 bots on your side, right? Or better for team play. Dude, I think that Bulwark's gonna be insane though, Erwin. I don't know. Like that class looks insane for PvE at least.
Yeah, Bulwark looks like a hard carry class for sure to me.
It looks insane, bro. Like that's and you can like a shield bash as well. His combos are good. He has the most survivability. He has that barrier where he just puts it down, and it's like the Well of Radiance in Destiny 2. So you kind of have way more survivability in it. It instantly recovers your. And one thing to keep in mind, by the way, there are a bunch of skills that benefit your team.
Yeah.
So, like for example, if Erwin picks Assault, right, and ThiccFilA picks a Bulwark, like Bulwark will have, if you pick that skill, it will say like 20% increased HP for all teammates, for example, right? When you're in range, and the Assault will give you 15% more damage. Sniper will give you like 30% more headshot damage, shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, there are
Which is
definitely
really cool.
classes that like pin together better than others because of the team buffs, especially, I've noticed.
Oh, also,
I think that the Bulwark's going to be insane just because it's like it does literally everything. Like it does damage, it tanks, it heals, it supports. Those kind of classes on release are always begging to be overtuned.
Pips, have you seen if they mentioned if there will be customs in PvP?
They mentioned custom lobbies. Was it PvE though? I think, or something. They did mention something for sure for custom that I was really surprised about.
I hope there's customs, because again, we could just hop in on stream for viewer games and get 11 people potentially.
Guys, destroy them. Like destroy our viewers. Like I'm telling, we will annihilate these guys, bro. But chat, we will annihilate you. It's not even gonna be close. You might delete the game, and it's not even gonna be on. I'm not even gonna feel bad. But if there is gonna be custom lobbies, me, Thick, Erwin, we're gonna
we're going on opposite teams. You're gonna get your
opposite teams.
Yeah, you're gonna get your team of your viewers versus my team with my viewers.
Oh my god, team easy, chat easy win.
We gotta do content creator tournaments.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure, yeah.
But also,
speed on my team.
We could meme out
we all just
because
have a team.
Because we could do customs where we're like, okay, melee only, okay, sniper only, Or like, okay, I know you can't do 6 snipers. Or I wonder if you could if in customs.
In customs, they should definitely let you do whatever you want. Like you should be able to click a box and then it just allows any class composition. I think that'd be just good for content reasons.
Yo, I want
for them to
apathy.
do that.
Sorry, Evan. I want apathy and no skills on my team against Pips. Just saying. Yeah, custom options will be the best. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be nice.
And if there's no customs, then you guys are going to know exactly when I queue so you can stream snipe me, okay? And then we'll destroy you, right, Pips?
Yeah, dude, if you guys stream snipe us, I'm telling you right now, you're going to regret it. Like, it's going to be a lot of crying and pain. Don't do it.
I really
just
hope
saying.
someone clips Pips so that someone can edit it into a video later when we're all getting absolutely smashed.
Confidence is off the charts. We are not losing, Ervin.
I just think
Who
it'd
are
be
we going to
really
lose to,
funny.
Ervin?
Like it'd be a good
Look,
edit. Someone should definitely
Gamorka
clip it.
says, Pips, I will sweat for you to cry. Gamorka,
Gamorka will hit you
you're
with
going to
the
get
ping.
destroyed.
He'll ping you.
Destroyed.
All right, that's pretty much it for this article. Just the one thing I want to harp on is they will be balancing for harder for PvP. It'll be challenging yet approachable, but PvE will be having fun with your buddies. That sounds lit.
Yeah.
That sounds lit.
Yep.
And they got the horde mode coming in sees the 4th chapter or whatever of the season.
Yes. And just before we move on, chat, what are you even talking about, bro? Ervin is going to pick Bulwark. He's going to drop that shit. He's going to stand there with a shield. Meanwhile, I'm sniping in the back. At this time, ThiccFilA is grappling to your ass, annihilating you with an insane flank. It's not even going to be close. And then FaZe jumps in. I don't even want to talk about it. It's going to be total annihilation. Go ahead. Stream snipe us, bro.
Aaron, what were you going to say?
Yeah. I was gonna say that the horde mode's interesting. I don't know how I'm feeling about horde modes these days. I remember, back in the Gears of War days, like I'd sit hours and hours and hours and hours into the horde mode in that game, and there wasn't any interesting progression really there. But with this game, I feel like horde mode might have a resurgence for me of being an interesting gameplay loop. I could definitely see it being possible. I'm a little bit hesitant to say that it would be super interesting because, it's horde mode. Done that before, but maybe they can make it interesting.
For sure. Jay with the $10 says, I'm gonna jetpack ya, and when you're down and out, gonna slip this 10 in your armor and whisper, thanks for the good time.
You're not doing shit, Jay. Thank you for the 10, by the way. But you're not doing shit. You're flying up with that jetpack, and you're landing, and you're dead. That's what's gonna happen. We'll see about it, bro. We're like 4 days away.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? Holy shit,
Yeah.
dude. It's out in 4 days. That's insane.
It's out in
Yeah.
4 days.
For early access, for normal edition, on the 9th, 8 days.
I'm definitely down for a month of PvE co-op fun with the boys, though. That sounds so refreshing right about now.
It really does. It really does.
Appreciate
Also-
you, Jay.
Somewhere along the lines, Arrowhead will get it together.
Yeah, also in terms of Helldivers, in the meantime, let's go back to like what Pilestat said about that this patch will probably be easier than the game's been. And so hopefully they do this patch to fix a lot of the weapons. Hopefully they do another patch to fix whatever weapons are left. Hopefully they leave like a couple bad guns so we could do some challenge runs. And then, because if there's like a few bad guns in a game, that's never a big deal.
Yeah, and that's always natural too, right?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry,
yeah.
The knight is never getting buffed.
And the Liberator Penetrator and the Purifier, those could be the challenge run guns. But like, hopefully, like we could just go play some Space Marines while Helldivers like irons out a lot of the bugs, irons out, creates a good baseline. And then maybe they can add some more difficulty modifiers like Stalkers and Bug Breaches, Factory Striders with Stratagem Jammers, Hive Lords, Illuminate. So, like, hopefully this will be a good game to get some downtime while Helldivers is getting fixed up. Because it definitely needs to get patched up.
When do you think it will drop the patch for Helldivers? Like, approximately, in your mind?
So, the theory is that Pilestat said Valve soon TM. And maybe he's referring to that it's being certified right now by like Sony and well, Steam verification's fast. But maybe he's referring to that it's already done. I would imagine he wouldn't drop all these hints unless it was done. So it's probably in verification. So hopefully this Tuesday.
You think
I
it's
think
Tuesday?
I think the running theory right now is Tuesday, or at the latest Thursday. I think the smart play though would be to wait to drop it until the 10th or the 12th, because I really worry that they drop the patch for Helldivers 2 and it's like there's just no one home. There's no one here to receive it.
I mean,
Because
Tuesday
everyone's
there's gonna be
looking
people,
for
right?
it.
But then 2 days later, that's why I thought like maybe it would have been smarter to wait a little bit. But at the same time, bro, like if the game's good, it doesn't even matter.
So
you
I
know?
think no matter what was going on with Helldivers, Space Marines was going to come out and people were going to go play that game. So honestly, instead of trying to compete with Space Marine, I think it's better to, like I said, just iron out the game. Fix the bugs, fix the guns, add other difficulty modifiers like stalkers and bug breaches. So iron out all that stuff, create a baseline, and then just use the Illuminate drop to build hype back for the game. And then when a bunch of people inevitably come back for that, they'll realize that, oh, Helldivers actually had a bunch of good patches while we were gone too. So I don't even, honestly, I'm in the boat. They shouldn't even try to compete with Space Marine.
Yeah.
No, I agree. There's no point.
You gave yourself 60 days. Just cook. Just take your time, cook. You know?
Here's the question, Erwin, right? And chat, I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, let's say it's the patch drops, right? And just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna throw out numbers. Let's say there's 10 buffs, right? Like good buffs, like I don't know, like good buffs, something that we really wanted to. But then there's 4 nerfs that like make, you know how they sometimes nerf something that doesn't make any sense?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think that's okay, or do you think that at this point, and I'll tell you my opinion, I'll just wait for yours first. Do you think that at this point it's more that people need to see just buffs?
I think the community is in a state right now where if it sees anything other than an absolute win, the game is gone forever in their minds.
See this guy. See, this is why I like Erwin, chat. He gets it. He's locked in, chat. He's locked in. You see? Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there will be 4 nerfs. I think if there's any nerfs, it's going to be like 1 nerf. And it might be with like a rebalance. So it might technically there might be a nerf in there, but they might try to rebalance something.
You know,
like remember what they did to the crossbow, how they rebalanced it, but it was actually a nerf. Maybe they'll rebalance stuff to be stronger this time. So like technically there will be a nerf, but it'll actually be stronger.
When you say one, go ahead, Erwin.
We're talking buffs. We're not talking the monkey paw shit they've been doing, like actual buffs, not just like
that's
moving
exactly
a
what I
number
mean.
up and then moving a number down on the weapon. And like, oh, it's reworked. No, like just better. If it's anything else, I think the game is in a lot of trouble. Do I personally feel like some nerfing is like in the cards, like it should happen, or like some nerfing will be warranted? Absolutely, but can they actually get away with doing that right now?
If the gun,
not at all.
That's the point, bro.
If the gun is better though, if it's like Pip says with First Descendant, if they nerf it in a way that it doesn't like gut it, if they nerf it in a way that it doesn't, shit on the player's time that they spent with that.
Yeah, but that's also different because what they, for example, in that game there was a gun to be nerfed.
Yeah.
And in this game there's no gun to be nerfed. You know what I mean? Like some of the things that were working there were like game breaking, right? Like, and it's also like their approach, like the First Descendant, when you take a look at that, and when they're, for example, discussing like buffs and nerfs and in general, like they literally say, we're not going to nerf this and we're not going to nerf this. Keep the overpowered builds. Our mission is to figure out how the content that we add in the future is just going to counter your overpowered builds. That's crazy,
one more thing I just thought of you. If you do nerf something in the next patch, Arrowhead, I better not be reading about it in miscellaneous changes.
True.
Yeah.
That needs to stop.
Yeah. People won't care about momentum. They read the word nerf, it's over. Exactly. But when I say momentum's in, I mean it in that way exactly. So what I meant was the momentum is not there for them. So it's it goes this way, right? So you need to understand that you need something that will bring you up right now. And not like this and then this and this. No, you need something that will skyrocket you. And that's what I mean when I say momentum for them, because they need to show the community that, okay, we heard you. We need your trust back. This is what we're doing. You see, like, there's no nerfs here. We're not doing any stupid changes. Here's what you asked for, guys. Enjoy the game. We apologize, and let's move on, and we're going to fix the game from now on. And that's what the community needs right now. So the problem is, even if there's 1 or 2 nerfs that are just don't make sense, it clicks in the head. You go, oh, they buffed this, but they still did this. So they're doing this part the way that we want, but not really. And that's what they should understand. They can't do that. They just need to make the game like the community wants, and that's it, you know?
Ice, what about the first Eruptor nerf where they just, I don't know if they made it less shrapnel or lowered the damage of the shrapnel, but I remember the very first Eruptor nerf, it was kind of annoying because some of the skinny bots near where I shot weren't dying, but I could still one-tap Devastators in their armpits or their crotches. I think the very first Eruptor nerf was fine.
I think the first nerf wasn't really a nerf, was it? It was kind of a bug fix. That's when they took away the vacuum effect on explosions.
No,
that,
they actually nerfed
it.
I'm pretty sure they actually nerfed it.
I don't recall that happening. I just know that, like, I definitely agree that the only actually warranted nerf that's ever happened was the Eruptor, and it was done really badly because it took the shrapnel away entirely.
Well, but
which was the whole weapon identity.
The first nerf to it was fine though, which maybe it was just the bug fix. But that's what we were saying too. But I thought they'd. Here,
but
let me
why?
try to pull it up.
But why? Like who thought Eruptor was OP? Like, was there people thinking that it was OP?
It was definitely overpowered. Like
overpowered,
it dealt thousands of damage. It did way more than any primary should ever be able to do, theoretically. So they wanted the goal of the change was to normalize the amount of damage it dealt instead of having it be completely random, but they did it really badly. And they also took away the fun of the weapon, which was the gamble with the weapon of like, oh, the shrapnel might just do thousands of damage, and that was kind of what made it fun.
Yeah, I think it should have been random. It shouldn't have been normalized. I think the first nerf to it was fine because I literally posted a video, nerf tier list, and my exact what I said about the first nerf to the Eruptor before they removed the shrapnel, exactly what I said was, you could definitely feel that it's not the same power as it was on launch, but it went from like S++ to like just regular S tier or high A tier. Like it still felt good to use before they removed the shrapnel.
Also, the reasoning for removing the shrapnel was mega disingenuous. Weren't they telling us it was for our benefit? Like, oh, we don't want the Eruptor shrapnel bouncing off the enemies and killing your teammates, so we're going to get rid of it for you. Don't worry. It'll be about the same. We're giving it 40 more explosive damage to compensate.
Here's what
that PR nightmare is what really made the Eruptor a problem for the community. If they had handled that any better than that, I don't think it would have been such an issue.
Yeah, it was. Here was the first Eruptor nerf. Explosion damage drops off slightly faster. That was the very first Eruptor nerf. And that's actually what I said too. That's what I said too. I was like, if you're going to nerf Eruptor, just remove the AoE. Just make it a pure shrapnel weapon. Because that's
that weapon
the description.
had so many hidden mechanics going on then, because that means the base damage of the weapon had an explosive component along with the ballistic component, along with the shrapnel component. Yeah. And the shrapnel was completely unlisted from the weapon damage. Thanks, Arrowhead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like, compared to other games, I never felt like anything in this game was ever overpowered apart from Railgun, and that was a bug. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, compared to some of the other games out there, especially like PvE games.
Bro, Eruptor was tough at first, though. You would shoot the bottom of a dropship, and it would just say, like, 9 kills.
Yeah. I think the other thing that was, like, what really pushed them with the Eruptor was, like, firing it under a charger and goodbye charger. That's probably not a okay primary thing to do from any angle.
That wasn't super
Even if
common.
it only happened, even if it's inconsistent, it's definitely something you shouldn't even be able to do. At least not in the old meta game. If we're talking about the new rebalance charger, yeah, it'd probably be okay.
See, I feel like you say that too, but also, what would it get nerfed to? Two-shotting chargers? Is that really that much worse than one-shotting them?
And
Like,
also,
is that
like,
where we draw the line?
with
I
all
think
the
you should just
hunters
have to
right
direct
now,
hit the back of the thing, and then it's fine. Like if it one-shot them, going along with the changes that are presented, right? If a Raptor one-shotted a charger to the back, that's fine with me. I think that's cool. I mean, the thing has like such a long wind up in between shots whenever you're not exploiting the bug with it, and the magazine's deplorable. It's like, yeah, that's fine if it does that.
Yeah. What were you saying, Pips?
no, I was saying like even if it's base for when it came out, like with all the hunters and shit right now at difficulty 10, I personally I wouldn't still be running it. But I understand what you guys are saying. Like some of those things are crazy, but then once if you are nerfing it, you need to nerf it like gradually. You can't just like
Yeah,
boom,
exactly.
like it's gone. It went from something that was so much fun now nobody gives a shit about, and yeah, that's a big ass problem, dude. That's a big problem.
I feel like
Arrowhead
it's
only believes in overcorrections.
yeah, especially with the AP4 chargers. I mean, that could be cool though.
Yeah, it's gonna make the game more fun.
The more
It
we
will,
talked about it
so.
today, though, I'm actually kind of okay with it because I really did just start to think about it like how a Hulk is right now, for being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they just got to bring the hard AT back into the game
Yeah, for
alongside that.
But also with a Raptor, I always talk about this with build diversity because I think buffing the thermite is super important because it's build diversity. Like if you can bring your anti-tank in your grenade slot, like all of a sudden you could run a whole different build. Multiple different builds are born from that. Like if your AT is in your grenade slot. And that's what a Raptor was kind of doing because it was dealing with chargers for people and then people were playing Stalwart with a Raptor. Like people loved doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting, and it's also like we're at that point where like as I just said, like 4 days away from Space Marines 2 is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like time flies, dude. It really does. But at the same time, it's going to be, as you said, I feel like the best thing that they could do is like don't rush it. At this point, there's Space Marine coming out. You know that players are going to be playing a lot of it. Are going to be playing that game. So chill, make the game as good as you can. And then just keep updating it, whatever it is. People come back and they'll see that the game is either really good or isn't good or whatever. But just please do not nerf anything for it. Like at least 2-3 patches. You know, when you said like one nerf, I imagined that moment from like one of the Jim Carrey movies where he's like holding his one hand and he's fighting against it when it's trying to,
right.
you know. You remember, like, one of the dudes in balancing is like, I have to nerf.
Bro,
you
even the big pile stat buff patch, there was still that one nerf to the pummeler, bro. And I'm the one dude who loves that gun, and I'm like, God damn
snuck it into miscellaneous changes too. Of course they did. I hated that.
Pen is
At least they named the pummeler, though. At least they named the pummeler.
That's true. Well, no,
So
I don't think they did. They said stun buildup has been changed.
Yeah, and they said this will mainly be for guns like the pummeler because I remember reading that. Okay. Yeah. No, all trust me, Aaron. I'm the pummeler main. Okay?
You're the pummeler guy, so you probably did.
That stuck out in my head when I was reading the patch notes. I was like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, at least they named it. Because if it just said stun buildup has been reduced, you're like, oh. You mean the pummeler? No. Just like in general, you know, like just a sweeping change to all the stun weapons in the game.
Yeah, all the stun weapons. Oh, the pummeler? No. All the stun weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of patch writing makes me mad. Like more mad than it really should.
All right. This was a good one. This was a good one, guys. This was a fun one.
I'm gonna start up mine.
All right, bet. Ervin, thanks for coming on again.
Thank you, Evan.
Yep.
Chat, thanks for being here.
Lots of fun.
Talk to you soon.
Next time Pips is going to start streaming. Ervin, next time I see you, man, we're going to be Space Marines, bro.
I know, right?
Yes. Let's go. Let's go, bro. Can you think like that's so fucking exciting? Okay, I'm out of here. I guess that's the stream. Okay, let's go.
Later, Pips.
Later.
All right, chat. Shit. I forgot to pin Aravin's channel in the description. Guys, make sure you go follow Aravin as well. Although, I think the people who watch the podcast are the more hardcore community. You guys probably already follow Aravin, let's be real. Let me... Oh, you are in the description. Okay, cool. Yeah, go follow
Nice.
Aravin as well. I thought I forgot. And then we're going to go raid MrPIpz. He's doing a Warhammer lore stream, which I also have to do as well, except it's like, is this patch coming Tuesday? And then Space Marines Thursday? I don't know if I'm gonna have time for a Warhammer lore stream. So yeah, go follow Aravin. There's Pips' live. He's about to go live right now. And again, next time we talk, Aravin will be Space Marines, brother.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting, brother.
All right, we're gonna end the stream. Later, everyone. Go to Pips.